Hello, hello. Is this thing on? Please, please do let me know that this thing is on. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been able to do a live stream between San Diego Comic-Con and then everything after San Diego Comic-Con. It's been a time. It Beyond, fantastic. Welcome in. We got Goji Shorts. We got BR Productions. Hello. We've got Louisa. Welcome in. Jaegerzard with the E. My screen is black. Is that true? I can't see anything. It's on. Hello, King of Mars. Good to see you. Joey, welcome in. Is it black for everybody? Well, let's see if it is for anybody else. Yo, you're goated, bro. Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate the kind words, man. I'm trying my best here. Larva Train, welcome in. Good to see you. Okay, so I think it's fine. Yeah, it's just you. Okay, no, it's all good, man. It's all good. All good. No worries. There's some gorgeous man on my screen. Oh gosh, you guys are too nice. You guys are too nice. It's not black for me, but I can't write on chat on PC. Oh, that's weird. I wonder why that is. That's weird. Welcome in, Cascade, though. You the man. You the man. Okay, now it loaded. Okay, we're all just buffering. It's okay. It's okay. Everybody's just loading in. We're all taking some time to just to buffer. Hello Kitty and Godzilla via a funny combo. Dude, I'm so upset. Up in Canada, we got a SpongeBob SquarePants X One Piece collab instead of Godzilla Hello Kitty, which is annoying. You see the JXSDF hat? Yeah, man, that's the trademark appearance. Copyrighted and filed. Ever since my brother-in-law came back from Japan a couple of years ago. Sounds terrible. Like my mic sounds bad? Or did I say something that sounds terrible? Oh, the One Piece. Yes, the One Piece and yeah, that stupid thing. Yeah, it's very annoying. You might get it after the One Piece thing, since we're supposed to get One Piece. Oh, okay. Let's hope. Let's hope. Hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing good too, man. It's good to see you guys again. And again, it's been a long time since I've had a chance to live stream and chat with everyone. The One Piece Club. Gotcha. He's counting on us Americans to eat a lot of McDonald's and send him the Hello X kit. Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome in, Steve. It's good to see you, man. I hope you're able to avoid the con crud, because I know Michael over at Articulation Series got really sick after Comic-Con, so he was down and out. Thoughts on new Monster Arts Burning Godzilla 2K? So listen, I might have to sneeze. I knew it was coming. Like I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to be a New York Toy Fair exclusive, and I thought it, like, the idea of burning Millennium, like burning Godzilla 2K, like I like it's fine. The short is okay. Like the short this year will be much more interesting. I was totally ready to skip this release, and then that promo image came up, and I thought this looks way too cool to skip. So I am excited for it. I think it's been confirmed that it will get a limited distribution in Japan following New York Toy Fair, which makes sense because it's a Japanese brand. While there isn't a precedent for distribution following New York Toy Fair, Tamashii Nations has distributed previous San Diego Comic-Con exclusives following the events. So for anybody who's, you know, anxious about that or whatever, I think you can expect that there will be perhaps a limited amount distributed, but we're gonna wait for some details. Robo Lizards here. Good to see you, man. Taking a break from all that video editing and painting. Dude, you posted a story on Instagram today of you painting something that looked like candy. It looked delicious. Childish Landino, welcome in, man. Good to see you. I find it shocking that Hello Kitty X Godzilla is the first ever Godzilla themed. Yeah. It is kind of whack for sure. Kyle, you can't ignore the burning. It's the coolest. Wait, it's not cool at all. It's hot. It's burning hot. Love it. No con crud, but I was horribly dehydrated and the trip home took 21 hours due to storm delays. Damn, man. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That's rough. That's rough. Yes, another Meyer / Gira Goji to join my collection. Dude, we had nothing. We had nothing for years and years and years and years. And then Haya announces one. It says it'll be available next year. And then SH Monster Arts announces one. It says, hey, it'll be available later this year. And then Super 7 announces a reaction and says, hey, it's available now. So we went from nothing to being, I don't know if I want to say spoiled, but certainly there's plenty of opportunity, which is great. It was candy red paint. So yeah, so it did look like it. Let's see. Any suggestions for my first Monster Arts if I were to get one? Okay, so I would totally get one of the newer molds from SH Monster Arts, whether that's Anguirus. I've really quickly pulled up Michael's, the articulation website, whether that's Anguirus or Godzilla 2000 or King Ghidorah 72 or Megaguirus, or what else we got here? The Ride, Godzilla the Ride, or the Godzilla 1975 that ships later this month. I, like many people, have had a lot of inconsistency with previous and earlier Monster Arts molds, popping off a little bit too easily, right? Now, granted, they are a high-end collectible with dozens, if not hundreds, of moving parts. So you have to treat them, you have to treat them with a little bit of caution. But some of those really, it's just too much. I can't even touch the goddamn thing without it breaking apart. But stuff like Anguirus or Godzilla 2000 or Megaguirus, those are all amazing releases, and nothing is really popping off easily at all. So I really like those things. I feel like they've really dialed in on their joint tolerance. So I would definitely recommend one of those being your first. 1970. Well, it's not. Sorry, it was. Yeah, it is Godzilla 1975 that ships later this month. That's looking like it could be a real game changer for the line. And so I'm really looking forward to that one. It's also a little bit on the more affordable. I think it's 110 as opposed to the 130 that seems to be the normal price point now. So that would be my recommendation. You got a purple color too, candy purple. Oh god, don't do this to me, man. I've got Robo Lizard on deck. He's my artist now. You can't tempt me. So that's why I've seen random Hello Kitty stuff. Yes, yeah, it's not available in Latin America, but yes, that's why you're seeing it everywhere. What are the odds we see Haya Kaiser Ghidorah at New York Comic Con? I think they're pretty good. I think they're pretty good. Haya was supposed to have Destroyer out at San Diego Comic-Con, but it was damaged in transit. I can't remember if they said that about Kaiser Ghidorah as well, because if you see photos of the Haya booth, or potentially my video, I'm not sure if I got a wide enough shot of it, there was a lot more room in those displays than they were actually using. So it's possible that the Kaiser Ghidorah prototype will make it out there. It's possible that it was just damaged and is not really going to be used. So I would say that the odds are above 50%, but maybe not much more above 50%. I wish the Monsterverse had some involvement for Happy Meal toys when those movies were coming out. Yes! That is such a good idea. Why is nobody doing this? Well, more specifically, why is McDonald's not doing this? I'm so excited for the Burning Godzilla. You're talking about the Hiya Toys one? Yeah, I'm excited about the Hiya Toys one too. I think it'll be good. Oh no, we're talking about the exclusive. We're talking about the exclusive. That makes sense. Sorry, like the comments come in while I take so long to yap that sometimes I forget what we were talking about. So forgive me. Once this Millennium Godzilla wave passes, it will be a dry spell for the next 20 years. Yeah, it probably will be, for sure. Thoughts on the Hello Kitty X Godzilla McDonald's Happy Meal collab? It's pretty sick, and I kind of wish they were available up here. Like, I probably could get some if I phoned in some favors, but I just don't want to spend that much on the shipping. Like, I saw reports of people getting the full set for like $12 US. If I could get it for $12 US, sure, I'll grab it, and I'll play with them with my daughter. But they're cool. I like them. Dude, you hyped for the green GMK color shock? Absolutely, dude. Yes. Oh my gosh. So for anybody, because I understand that most people watch my channel not for Super 7 stuff, even though the Super 7 stuff is my favorite stuff to talk about. Over in Indonesia, there was a toy store where somebody's found a whole bunch of new Super 7 product that hasn't been announced yet, and there it was on the shelf. And one of them was a new Super Kaiju entry, which was Godzilla 2001 or GMK, but it's in the Color Shock line, which is translucent sparkle, like glitter versions of the characters, which is exciting because one, Color Shock is awesome. It is so rad. And two, we actually haven't gotten GMK yet in the Super Kaiju line, which presumably means that GMK is going to be part of the next wave coming this fall. So yes, I am very excited about that. Can't complain. Happy to get spoiled on figures of my favorite Godzilla suit. Yeah, man, you got lots of opportunity. That's the great thing, right? We always talk about how competition makes companies better, but competition also just provides people with options, which is fantastic. Speaking of MonsterVerse stuff, I can't believe we're at a time now where Hiya Evolved Heat Ray and Scar King are now shipping. Time flies by so fast you don't even realize what releases next. Bam! Look at that guy. So I'm working on the content for this guy now. If you've watched God's Box or Figure Mania show, I'm sure Rob will have his video up before mine too. Yeah, he's pretty cool. There's a critical thing that really pisses me off about it, but other than that, he's a great toy. Older Monster Arts were model kits that you thought were pre-assembled but will fall apart while you enjoyed them, just to give you the joy of assembling them again. No, yes, I like the way that this is phrased here. You pay a whole bunch of money to get the figure, and then you get the privilege of getting to assemble them again. Hiya is releasing Scar King, Godzilla Evolved Heat Ray version, and Mechagodzilla 93 soon. What figures do you think will be released after these three? Oh, fantastic question. Okay, now the server I'm in, the owner just posted a sort of screenshot of what is supposed to be coming the rest of this year. So let me take a look. Okay, so the obvious answer is Heat Ray Godzilla 2002. Okay, like, and I'm gonna say that, and it's not even a fair answer for obvious reasons. So that's the next one. But what the other things that are due are the Exquisite Basic Plus G21, the Mecha King Ghidorah, the Frostbite Blast Shimo, Suko Mothra 2-pack, and then Burning Godzilla 1995. Burning Godzilla 1995 is definitely not shipping this year. As you guys would have seen at Comic-Con, they had a completely new mold for Burning Godzilla out on the floor. So there's no way that that thing's going to ship this year. Unless they just haul ass on it, but I don't expect that that's going to be what happens next. I think that Shimo, the Frostbite Blast Shimo, is an obvious one because that one is going to be mostly the same with the addition of a heat ray effect, or not a heat ray effect, but a Frostbite Blast, which shares a lot of characteristics with their other MonsterVerse beams. So I expect that one will come out after Heat Ray Godzilla 2002. I'm gonna say the Exquisite Basic Plus Godzilla, the light up one. I'm gonna put that one. I'm gonna say that one ships October. No, I'm gonna say that one ships November. I'm gonna say that one ships November. I don't know. Okay, disclaimer. This is just my guess. But the fact they had a near final sample makes me think that one will ship November. Mecha King Ghidorah could ship at any time. I actually have no idea. They had a gray prototype out on the floor, so presumably they don't have any production samples, or they're not far along enough. So I'm actually gonna I'll put Mecha King Ghidorah at the end of this year. I'm gonna put Burning Godzilla 1995 next year. I think the order is going to be Heat Ray Godzilla 2002, Frostbite Blast Shimo, Suko Mothra, Mecha King Ghidorah, Burning Godzilla 1995. Okay? Now somebody needs to clip this for when it's right. And if I'm wrong, then just ignore it entirely. I just ordered Hiya Toys Kong today for only $41 on Amazon. So excited for it to come. Which one did you get? Did you get the 2.0? Well, probably not the 2.0 because I don't think that one. I don't know if that one's in the States yet. If only Hiya or Bandai would take advantage of all the Godzilla 2000 shill. Because where's my boy Orga? That is a great question. Why isn't somebody making Orga? Came here to say that the Titanic Creations articulated Titanicus is really good. I've heard really good things about it, but that would be pretty sick. Do the people know about Mechagodzilla? Wink, wink. You know what I mean. Wink, wink. Not Hiya. No, not Hiya. No wink. Listen, we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. Hiya Monster Arts Super 7. 2 have to go and 1 stays. Choose and tell me why. I'm not answering this question. I'm not answering this question. Nobody's gonna like my answer. Shin Job Jira. This is his job. How did you know? Kiryu is one of my favorite Godzilla designs, but made the decision to buy Godzilla vs. Kong 2.0 because it's probably a better figure. You think that the Kong 2.0 is going to be better than Kiryu? I mean, Kiryu's like twice the price. So the the value is probably the same in terms of per dollar. Let's see. Guessing you answered this already, but is the Hiya Evolved Heat Ray shipping right now or no? I hope Hiya releases their video showcasing it. So I got the email last week. I think it was last week at this point. Or maybe it was early this week. No, I think it was last week. I got it that it was shipping. I am anticipating that I will get it in 13 days. If I'm looking at how long it takes, how long it has taken other stuff to arrive after Hiya emails it. So I expect that the video showcase will happen any day now. But yeah, I'm 13 days. I think I will get it, which means that like God's Box and Figure Mania Show will probably get it in less than in 10 days or less. That's my guess. Shin Rob Wink if MS has you hostage. Rick, hello Rick. Hope you're doing. Can we still try to ask Hiya to re-release the Skull Devil? Also scared about my INS card. They haven't messaged me back on another $80 storm from me. So yeah, Hiya, we can see if there's demand for Skullcrawler. Hiya is doing a big batch of reissues. They're reissuing the first Shimo. They're reissuing the first Godzilla Evolve for some reason. And there's a couple others that they're reissuing. So it's always possible. I'm sorry to hear about your INS hobby order. I don't know when you made it, but if you made it with a credit card, you can always call your credit card company and say that, hey, they haven't told me anything or whatever. So yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. Let's see. Shinra Jira, we talked about your Godzilla nipple flashlight at San Diego. It's true. This is actually very true. We did talk about this, like at length. At length. I legit read... Stop it. Do you recommend Kaukus store? I just ordered yesterday Godzilla Millennium Haya. So I've frequented Kaukus. I've done 5 orders with them previously before I obviously reached out to them recently, and we are now working together. Their customer service was always great. Their orders were always great. They have been very, very kind to me. When I approached them and I said, hey, like, do you guys mind if I can have like a custom coupon code for my viewers to use if they're going to frequent your shop? Just because like they're using other people's codes because it's the maximum percentage off. But I thought, like, hey, if I can get like a Kaiju Canuck one, that would be pretty cool. It'd be good for the brand, you know. And they were like very sweet. We were chatting for a bit, and they said, yeah, if you ever need any help like sourcing stuff from China, like let us know and we can get it out to you. And I was like, oh man, that's really great. So my experience with Kaukus has been very positive right now, or positive since. So yeah, I do recommend them. There's been many leaked images of the Heat Ray evolved, and they're all super inconsistent with each other. Are they all just AI, or are there a few real ones? So the thing to me that like screams inauthenticity is that all of those images came out before any images of Scar King came out, and we know that Scar King was ready to release in China 2 weeks before the Heat Ray Godzilla evolved. So the timing doesn't make sense to me. And also, like, yeah, they don't really look like something mass produced, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna err on the side of none of them are real, but we'll have to wait for confirmation. Oh, let me take a sip of water. Did you ask Haya why they never showed off the Heat Ray Godzilla evolved at any events? Not showing it off makes me nervous for it. No, I didn't ask them that. I did not ask them that. It just didn't occur to me, to be honest. If anyone remembers like that previous shipping calendar that they had on the website before they nuked it, like they continued to nuke them. It was originally slating Heat Ray evolved for Q4. So that would have been October, November, or December. So to me, like not seeing it at any of the events, I was like, oh, it's just not ready yet. So I was quite surprised to hear that it was shipping so soon. The other figure to do that recently is Kong 2.0. They didn't have Kong 2.0 out anywhere. And the turnaround time on Kong 2.0 was really quick between solicitation and release. And I think largely because the 3 head sculpts are new. Like they all have new tooling, even though they are very, very similar to Kong 2024. It's just that his beard's a little bit shorter. And then they carved more room in the ankles to allow for more movement. But they didn't show it off anywhere. They just released it. And presumably it's because it's not that different from the first one. And that's what makes me... I don't know if worried is the right word, but it makes me think about Godzilla Heat Ray evolved. Heat Ray Godzilla evolved. How different is it going to be than the first one? The fact that there were no progress shots and then they just drop it and it's released. I did hear somebody asking Haya about it at the booth at San Diego Comic-Con. They asked if it was going to be like a completely new sculpt. And I can't remember exactly what words I heard. But they did make it seem like it was going to be small changes rather than like a completely new sculpt. So I don't know if they're just going to like elongate the leg joints or something to make it bigger. But I'm going to err on the side of Godzilla Evolved Heat Ray version is going to be like 90% at least the same figure. Now, there's another piece of information that I've seen that like directly counters that, but I don't want to even say it because I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, because I am erring on the side of I don't think it's going to be that different. Someone make a Millennium figure. I will buy it. I would like to think that if Super 7 ever made an Ultimate Orga, that it would come with Millennium. Oh, so you did get the 2024 King Kong. Yeah, that's a great toy. I hope you like it. They haven't done Orga because he's a massive blob and hard to articulate. Dude wouldn't be able to stand. You know what? That's fair. That is fair. The Monstars Burning Millennium Godzilla looks amazing. I agree. See, like, this is what I mean. I'm 7 minutes behind on comments. Welcome in, Michael. It's good to see you, man. I hope that you're doing well. How's it going? Just got myself the Hiya Toys Godzilla 2000 Heat Ray. How do you like it? You like it a lot? It's a great toy. It's awesome. SH Monster, yes, it does. Do you recommend Calca Store? I just bought Godzilla Millennium. Yes, I do recommend them. Yes. Accidentally broke the tail on my Hiya GMK. I'm very sorry to hear that, man. If it makes you feel any better, there's my Heat Ray GMK, or what is left from it. Ich bin ein Goober. Hi, bro. Haven't watched in many months now. That's okay, man. You're here now. That's what matters. That's all that matters. I sold the older Skull Devil to get the new one, but thought I would have more time to get it, and I was afraid if I ordered it online, they would give me the 1.0 for... Oh, okay. I understand. Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry about that, man. How do you feel about the Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee remastered? I think it's pretty cool. It took long enough, right? It's great that they're redoing all the textures. I can only hope that they will make DLC to include some other monsters if there's enough, gas in the tank. But starting with the base game, I'm looking forward to having that kind of game back. I'm quite happy. I'm quite excited. Do you have an idea when Scar King is going to start shipping on Calcus? I do not know. No, I don't. Yeah, I have no idea. Will Hiya release Muto Prime? No idea. My interview with them, they talked about how, yeah, they are interested in hearing what viewers and customers are looking for. But also being mindful of the fact that because Muto Prime's from a comic book, there's comic book licensing and rights that they have to sort through. So even if they want to do it, they might not be able to do it just because of the rights and stuff. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Sorry if my English is not too good. I'm still learning my That's great, man. You're here, man. It's all good. No worries. No one's gonna bug you about it. The new mold for Burning 95 confuses me because why is he more thin and why is he taller than other Godzillas when he's the same size as 1991, which they made? So the one at the booth it's a size up. It's not going to be the final scale. It's just the prototype. It's a normal thing for companies to make the prototypes as size ups, just so it gives you a little bit more room to get the detail and the paint master and all that stuff. So the one at the booth, they confirmed it for me, it's a little bit bigger than what the final one is going to be. The final one is going to match the solicitation, the information that's in the solicitation, the height and stuff. So don't worry about that one too much. As for the proportions, I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought the proportions looked better than the one that was shown off in China like 2 weeks before. I don't remember what the convention was called. But like, as anybody who has been watching me for a while knows, that I'm big on like the Super 7 stuff. Screen accuracy, 1-to-1 screen accuracy is not anywhere near the top of my hierarchy of collecting needs. So I looked at that Burning Godzilla prototype the first time. I thought that looks pretty cool. I saw the solicitation images. I thought that looks pretty cool. And I saw the one in China 2 weeks before Comic-Con. I said, that looks a little bit scuffed. And then I saw the one at San Diego Comic-Con. I thought that looks pretty cool. So like, I don't know. Have you been interested in a line called Non-Mu Smart Series? It's so I am familiar with it. Like, it's where I'm at with this is like, it would be super cool to get some of that stuff in hand, but I just have no room. I barely have enough room for just the Godzilla stuff that I have. I've been selling a lot of stuff to like make room for new stuff. So like, for example, in my coverage of this guy, like, you're not going to see the monster arts because I sold the monster arts because I only really have room for one Scar King. So I would love to cover some non-Mu stuff. I would love to own some non-Mu stuff. I just can't. I don't have room for it. What do you think about SH Monster Arts adding Anguirus 1955 and Rodan 1964 to their survey? I'm so glad that you asked me this question. Okay. There's a saying that I grew up with in my house. Don't let your mouth write checks that your ass can't cash. Okay? If you're going to put 1955 Anguirus and 1964 Rodan on the survey, then you better be damn well prepared to actually make those toys. Okay? Like, don't do this. Don't tickle my balls and then do nothing with it, okay? That's where I'm at with it. God, I want both of those characters, but I don't know. I don't know when Scar King. I can try messaging them. I'll message them tonight, and if I get a response in the morning, I'll post it on the channel. Do you think Biollante by Hiya Toys could be shipping this year? No, definitely not. Assuming you saw the Spiral Studios Hall of Fame Burning 2019. Yes, I think it looks pretty cool. I would like to hope that Hiya Toys will make an Exquisite Basic Plus version of their Burning Godzilla Battle version with lights, because I think it would look cool and I'd be able to afford it. It only feels nervous not seeing the Heat Ray version of Evolved, mainly because we've asked Hiya for the corrections and seeing no updates on it makes me hope we won't end up the same as the old Evolved, looking weird. Yeah, man. I think I shouldn't say I think. I know that Hiya acknowledges that they screwed up the size of that first Godzilla Evolved. The sheer amount of goddamn copium that was going around the fan base when that figure released was insane. Like, you have people like Harold and Rob posting photos, videos showing that Evolved is clearly too short, too small. And like, the amount of people who don't even own these toys are like, oh, because you're not posing it right, you don't have the legs extended. It's like, you don't even have the toy. We have the toy. We're telling you, like, with all the love in the world, that they messed it up. So Hiya knows they messed it up. The question is if there was enough juice worth the squeeze of redoing it. And I don't know. I am just in I'm in the dark as much as anybody else. Surprised to see it $600 when the Hall of Fame series usually ranges from $200 to $400 as the more affordable line. Yeah, I mean, that Spiral Toys just gonna do what Spiral Toys does, or Spiral Studio, whatever. I don't like Spiral Studios. I don't like them. What did you end up doing with the Ebirah bag charm? Also Wave 2. So I did see that Playmates TMNT Godzilla Wave 2 is starting to hit. And because my lawyer was talking about how it's already getting scalped in his area. So he's really annoyed about that. Ebirah bag charm, it's on my lanyard. It's on my lanyard, dude. The shrimp is eternal. Yeah, so I met Fanboy Prime in person at San Diego Comic-Con like I did last year. He actually helped me film the stuff with Brian Flynn at the Super 7 booth. And when I got to see him, the first thing he did was hand me an Ebirah monogram clip, which I was very excited about. And thank you again, Steven, for getting that to me. And yeah, it's on my. There's not that much Ebirah merch out there. I gotta cherish it, man. It's on my work lanyard. Guys, Heat Ray Evolved Godzilla is going to have 10 plus not shown accessories and a whole new sculpt. That's why they aren't showing it. Trust me, I'm not coping, definitely. I see you. I love it. So awesome. Love the Heat Ray Godzilla 2000. Awesome. Love it. This is the same question as before, I'm assuming. Will Haya release Muto Prime? I don't know. What happened to GMK's head? If you explained in the review, I forgot. Sorry. Basically, one of there's a barbell joint between the neck and the head. The joint in the neck was fine, but the joint in the head was completely frozen. I boiled it. I used my a hairdresser. I did everything. It would not move. And eventually, I was just like, listen, I'm gonna move this joint, and if it breaks, if he dies, he dies. Like that was exactly what it was. So yeah, broken. Hello, Mitchell. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well too, man. Welcome in. Good to see you. 154 Creations is selling a neck replacement joint and head for Haya GMK. It comes unpainted, but it could fix your Heat Ray GMK. Maybe. Honestly, it's a Heat Ray variant. I don't care about it enough to do it. Will Haya release Metal Crime? I'm starting to wonder if this is like autocorrect or if this is just a meme. Like, can we how many ways can we misspell Muto Prime? What are your hopes for Haya's upcoming male Muto figure coming in the 2-pack? Yeah, well, so the 2-pack looks great. My hope is that the male is more articulated than the female, which is going to be difficult because he's a smaller creature. But that's my hope. Like, if you're going to go from standing to flying, he's going to need a lot of range of movement. So that's my hope, right? Outside of the normal, like, I hope the QC is good. I hope that the paint is good. I hope I don't lose that missile because it's small. What is a figure you would like to see? The answer is always Ebirah or Titanosaurus. That's always the answer. I want this, but articulated. That's always going to be the answer. If you're talking something that's more realistic, Orga would be great, or the GMK Guardian monsters to match the 2 GMK Godzillas that I have now. So that's maybe more realistic. Kiryu and Destroyer from Haya are some of my most wanted figures, but I feel like they're both slightly overpriced for Haya standards. Releasing the super... Yeah, dude, this happened to me. I thought Super Mechagodzilla was going to be at least $100, probably more, and then it wasn't. So I'm not sure why Kiryu is so expensive. Although Destroyer, I feel like, is worth the price. Like, he's gigantic. He's a big figure. So that one doesn't bother me as much. But Kiryu, yeah, Kiryu's still gonna have a question mark on that price tag. How hefty did Exquisite Plus Godzilla feel compared to the standard one? Were you able to play with the articulation? Yeah, so if you go to Mike's Monsters YouTube account, or we just did a reel on Instagram together. We played around with it a little bit. I got to play with it for a good 5 minutes or so. He feels the exact same weight as the normal Godzilla 2021. The tail is designed very interestingly because obviously it has to contain electronics. And so, like, you know, Monkinator, you and we've spent a lot of time talking about like NECA's tail design and Haya's tail design and Super 7's tail design. Like, throw those out entirely. The Exquisite Basic Plus tail design articulation is like completely different in terms of how they connect to each other because there's wires running through them. It's really cool, actually. Like, from an engineering perspective, it's very impressive. I was really surprised, but it is way more limited than a standard Haya tail. Because there's electronics running in it, and the system that they've come up with doesn't work very well. So the tail quite limited. I didn't move around the torso too much, but they didn't really mention to me any issues with the torso. They had seen I had posted, because I posted the photo on YouTube, right, of the Exquisite Basic Plus and the Mechagodzilla 93. I said I've played with them, basically as a way to say like they're real, you know. The next day when I came back to the booth to film, they like stopped me almost. They were like, "Hey, like we saw the photo you posted of Exquisite Basic Plus, and we just want to tell you like it's gonna look a lot brighter when in darker conditions." Like they heard me film with Mike. Like we said, it's the room is very bright. Like we were directly under one of the big pot lights. And they started showing me photos of the thing in darker and then in pitch black. In pitch black, the thing almost looks like energized Godzilla. Like that's how much light is coming off of this thing. But in darker conditions like the solicitation, it's gonna look good, I think. Unless they completely fuck the production now and make me look like an idiot and make them look like liars. So I think Exquisite Basic Plus is going to be a great toy. It's going to be a great toy, but it's not going to be able to move its tail that much. So I hope everybody knows that. I do hope Pipeworks is willing destroy all monsters, a little life with DLC fighters instead of releasing it, but that's but feel they'll save it for a Save the Earth and Unleashed. Yeah, those are like the two options, right? If this game does very well, then I think that they will opt for remakes of the other two rather than DLC. But if it's a situation where it's like the remaster does okay, not you know, gangbusters, then it's like maybe people won't show up for a whole new entry, but they'll show up for the DLC and we can squeeze it out a little bit. It's a little bit cheaper to do, but maybe a little bit more lucrative. That's how I would guess. Shouldn't Tiamat start shipping soon? No, Tiamat's due Q1 2027. I wonder if Haya would ever make a city accessory pack. I did talk about this in my interview. The answer is no, they're not going to be doing that. I'm joking. I'm an English speaker. My actual native language is Latin American, but I've been learning German on Duolingo. This guy, he's fooling us all. That's cool, man. That's cool. German's a fun language. As someone who knows none of it, it would be cool if we can get some MonsterVerse comic monsters like Amulek, Camazotz, etc. That would be cool. I feel like they'd be willing to do it if people show up for them. So you know, fingers crossed. I'm there. I'm right there with you. To me and others, the Haya line was enticing because they would provide more accurate sculpts of monsters than Monster Arts, and it's just odd to see them try so hard to fix 2002, but not here. But not here. See, this is a case of I'm so far behind that I'm not sure. I'm not entirely familiar with the context. Oh, about Godzilla Evolved. I agree with you. I agree that it's weird that they wouldn't try so hard to get the scaling right. My guess is just that, again, it's just like the juice is not worth the squeeze. That's the whole thing. Hey, Michael, welcome in. Are you and Rob actually related? Yes, he is my nephew from New Jersey. Speaking of which, I still have nightmares about them height days. That's right, dude. I get so triggered by this conversation about Haya Godzilla Evolved, especially when Haya themselves it's like, yeah, it wasn't big enough. Let's see. Evolved Heat Ray version size wasn't just only messed up, the dorsals weren't clear and didn't have a good blend on it. Yeah. No, like the first Heat Ray, not the first Godzilla Evolved from Haya, I think the sculpt was solid. And in some ways, I like the sculpt on the Haya more than the Monster Arts. But everything else was just working against it, for sure. Do you think Haya releasing concept figures is in the realm of possibilities? Is it possible? It's possible. Is it likely? I would say no. Not until they are another few dozen monsters down into the line. I think they want to. I think Haya wants to hit the thing that they think the most number of people will show up for, and I don't think the most number of people will show up for poster variants. Litigation, welcome in, Mike. Good to see you. Metal Crime. This is funny. What is your most excited Haya Toys pre-order? Dude, I'm pretty stoked for Mecha King Ghidorah, but I think the other one is Tiamat. Tiamat's pretty cool. The Tiamat at San Diego Comic-Con was held together by Silly Putty a little bit. Or not Silly Putty, just Putty. I guess any Putty could be silly. But yeah, it's not going to be out for a little while longer. Probably not till 2027 if I'm guessing. But Tiamat's another one that I'm looking for. You're forgetting about wanting GMK Ghidorah. Yes, I do want GMK Ghidorah. Hot take. Maybe it will come later. I don't know. When will Haya release Mewtwo Climb? Tail is full of wires who does not move at all. Yeah. If Haya's watching, make the belly of the 2-pack female Mudo translucent and not just painted on. That would be cool. Spino, hey, Kanak, how you doing? I just ordered the Hot Toys Daredevil. That's sick, dude. I don't think I know anybody IRL that orders Hot Toys like regularly. And maybe that's not, maybe you don't do it regularly either. I think Mike has a Hot Toys alien, maybe. But that's pretty sick, man. Now, just for fun, you can choose 2 characters the Haya will turn into figures, Godzilla plus some kaiju, to prevent you from choosing Titanosaurus. I'm limiting this to the Heisei era. Oh, okay. Godzilla 1992 and Batra Larva. Batra Larva is like one of my favorite designs from the Heisei era. And I missed out on both opportunities to own the Monster Arts, and I would love another Batra Larva. Another chance at Batra Larva, I should say. When will I release Ebir of Mine? While Haya released the Methanol Rhyme. Let's hope that for Haya Evolved Heat Ray version, they actually gave him just about the same level of articulation as the other GXK lineup. Like Kong, Shimo. I think the articulation is going to be the same as the first figure. Personally. That's what I think. Apologies if this was answered earlier. But for Exquisite Basic Plus, Godzilla, do the entire dorsals and very tip of the tail light up. So yes, the tail lights up the whole way down to the bottom. There's the light comes from the base of the spines and then projects up into the spines. In the video that Mike shot, it is very bright. Okay, you're not going to be able to see it go into the spines very easily. But the photos they showed me afterward, and again, like, this is like, oh, trust my uncle works at Nintendo level shit. I have every confidence that the figure you get looks like the one in the solicitation. Okay, if you don't like how it looks in the solicitation, you probably won't like the final product. But if you like what the solicitation shows in terms of light, because God knows it's not going to match in terms of articulation, then you should be happy. Titanic Creation is doing city packs. Yes, they're doing Kaijuscape, which is pretty cool. I don't know when it's shipping. Might be early next year now, but we'll see. Haya tried so. We're doing Haya Lincoln Park now. That's pretty funny. Sorry about that. What is your most excited for SH Monster Arts figure? I can't tell you because it's not public knowledge yet. Has Haya ever let you know if they watch these streams? I wouldn't expect them to, but just curious. They have not told me that they watch my streams. But Freya told me at the booth, she said, every time I make a video about a new reveal, she always watches it. Which I was like, oh no. I feel so seen. So like obviously that's really cool. But there was a part of me that was like, oh, I you know, it's like, oh, maybe I should behave myself. But like, I like to think that I conduct myself mostly professionally. Mostly. Okay. But no, I don't know if they watch the streams, but they do watch my coverage of the reveals and the pre-orders. Hello, Frenrir. Welcome in. What is your favorite action figure of all time? Oh, Christ. Dude, I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I'm gonna have to pass, dude. I don't know. That's too heavy of a question. The original game was gonna have a PS2 version with Baragon as exclusive, but was canceled because of Save the Earth. He was 70% done. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah. Was it confirmed Godzilla Evolved Heat Ray version won't be no, we have no idea. We have no idea. No clue. Completely in the dark. You have a Hot Toys Falcon or Predator. Oh, okay, cool. Mike used to have 5 or 6 Hot Toys back in the day before he moved. That's pretty cool. I bet those were really awesome to photograph too. What are your thoughts on the 3-0 Shin Godzilla coming out? I think that is going to be the definitive Shin Godzilla figure to own. Just like straight up, no bullshit. That's what I think. I need a Hiya Toys Rose Biollante. You can go to your local Ross, Michael, and see if there's a Super 7 one there for $30. I'm just saying. Just saying. When will Honda release Mondo Slime? When will Hiya release Optimus Prime? This is my first Hot Toys since the first Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool also just got an email from BBTS that GMK will be shipping out in September. BBTS still hasn't shipped out GMK. That is crazy, dude. GMK feels like a lifetime ago at this point. Man. For Hiya, I kind of want them to make a Toho Mothra soon. I don't know if that's gonna happen soon. I can't say anything else without getting in trouble, but I don't think that it's gonna happen soon. I do think their 1999 can get a 2.0 version. The evolved articulated dorsal could have been well utilized. I also think another flap would help with the gaps. Oh, and tighter hand joints. I do agree that the articulated dorsal plate being absent in both 1999 and 2002, after having it with evolved, feels like a bit of a downgrade in terms of articulation. I don't know if that's enough to warrant a 2.0, but maybe we'll see. We'll see how long they continue with the line, and maybe down the road they'll get around to some updates. How close are we to see Hiya's Super Mechagodzilla moving around? I'm not sure I understand the question, but the Super Mechagodzillas due, I think, Q3 2027. So it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. Hopefully not too long, because like the base figure exists, and the base figure already has a lot of like the removable parts, and seems like it's built to take on a lot of the accessories that the super version would have. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a wait. So this is in regard to the Exquisite Basic Plus figure. The figure lit up very well in the convention center. It didn't come through as well in the video, but it will definitely look way brighter in a darker environment where you should definitely see the spines light up more. Yes, I agree with you. Hello, welcome in, Red Ranger. It's good to see you. Do you actually think there's enough real demand for an Orga figure from Hiya? I feel like they haven't made that Godzilla villain despite making other Millennium ones because of lower demand. I think that is a very good question. See, but they've gotten the base figure. They've gotten the Heat Ray Godzilla 2000 out. Maybe they can make a burning version at some point to go with the short film. But I would love to think that those three are enough to get one Orga. You know? That's my hope. But it very well could be like a, hey, like this guy's not that popular. But they made Monster X. I feel like Orga and Monster X are of similar caliber. And I'm sure some of you might be screaming at me that Monster X is way cooler than Orga. To which I would respectfully disagree. But perhaps I'm just missing that Monster X is a more popular character that toys of Monster X sell better than Orga ever has. I actually don't know. I would like to think they're a similar caliber. Has TAS told you stuff that is behind the scenes for SH Monster Arts? There are some things that Michael has told me. There are some things that I've learned about Monster Arts that I've heard from other sources than Michael. So we'll just leave it there. I just got the 2002 Godzilla figure and it's amazing. Can't wait for Kiryu to come out. Dude, like the Haya Godzilla 2002 art, like the screen accuracy aside, like I said earlier, screen accuracy is not even in my top 2 like levels of priority in my collecting hierarchy of needs. Godzilla 2002 is a really fun toy. Just straight up, he's got a lot of personality. He reutilizes like the engineering and a lot of the sculpting, but he's cool. He's a good figure. Do you think Haya will make any kind of Toho Mothra? Not for a while. I don't think so. When will Haya release the Cha-Cha slide? What is your least favorite action figure? Doc. I mean, there's so many ways to answer this question, dude. Like, I don't buy 99% of the things that I think I'm not gonna enjoy. Probably more than that. Probably close to 100%, like 99.99999. Have I ever bought a figure and was immediately like, oh, this was a waste of money, waste of time? If anybody remembers when Bandai got the license for Pacific Rim, they did those like robot. They did like the plastic. They weren't model kits, but they felt like model kits. They made those Jaegers. They made the Gypsy Avenger. I got the Gypsy Avenger, and it almost immediately broke out of the package. I was like, wow, this thing sucks. So that's the one that sticks out in my head, is like immediately was like, this sucks. So that's the one. I'm disappointed that Exquisite Basic Plus didn't end up having bicep swivel cuts, but they really should update the solicitation pic, since that's basically false advertising. Yeah, listen, I'm not happy about it. The marketing team, I'm sure, is not happy about it. When I showed it to them, because I posted the photo, and then like I'm going on with my day because it's San Diego Comic-Con. I'm busy, and then that night, like I'm reading through the comments, and everybody's like freaking out about this thing being cut. And I looked at it, I was like, oh god, like yeah, that's a huge thing to go under the radar. So when I brought it to them, I was like, hey, like, it was literally my first stop the next day. I was like, hey, I just want to ask, like, where is this cut? And I was showing the marketing team, and they were looking at it, and they were like, oh gosh, and they were talking amongst themselves, and they came to me, and they explained that, like, yeah, it's not going to have that cut. I think it's a huge miss, to be honest. It would be cool if they went back and updated the solicitation pics to reflect that. We all know Monster Arts is about to release Godzilla 1993. They're not going to release it. They're going to solicit it or reveal it. Michael, let's go to Ross and search for a rose. You've got the Super 7 rose. Okay. All right. Then, yeah, maybe you do need a higher one then. When will Super 7 release Muto Lime? They sent BBTS all units of 2000 heat ray and only 5 units of GMK in that shipment. Okay. I guess that tracks. When is Haya going to release Godzilla for Fortnite? It's never happening. Shinra Jira 30 Shin will be my retirement special. The retirement will last 1 day. He's like, I've retired. Next day, I have returned. I'm also making a 3D animation of Yonguri versus Gorgo. Cool, man. I hope that turns out well. I think my favorite figure ever has to be the Robot Spirits Atlas Destroyer from Pacific Rim the Black. Just a perfect figure, which I bought a second to have him displayed with both. Yeah, that one looks pretty cool. I just didn't like that line very much. When will Haya release Malformed Mimes? Do you know when Haya will reveal their painted solicitation and release date announcement for Godzilla Ultima? I think they said that they were aiming. So they said they were aiming for 2027, but it wasn't clear to me if they meant that they're going to solicit it in 2027 or they're hoping to release it in 2027. That part was not clear to me. The way you're wording this sounds like you know Haya Orga is on the way. Listen, I don't know. I didn't even ask them about Orga. So I am in the dark as far as Haya Orga goes. I'd really wish SH Monster Arts or Haya would give Godzilla 1998 some love. That would be cool. Last year we did a live stream on the Figure Mania show with Brian Flynn from Super 7, and he mentioned that the licensing for 1998 is kind of weird. Although since then we have seen other companies doing 1998, so hopefully that stuff has been figured out, and hopefully we get something sooner rather than later. Love me some knowledge on this stream. I appreciate it, man. That's what we're here to do. If they made an Orga, it would need a stand no matter what, so we can lift his arms without him falling, or make his tail very heavy so he balances out. They managed to balance Behemoth, so yes. And if anyone has seen the Starship Troopers, like Warrior, I think it's the Warrior Bug. I forget if that's what the name is. How it comes with a stand. I think that they've learned from Skilla that they need stands for some of these characters. Like the fact that Monster X comes with a stand when it wasn't in the solicitation is cool. So yes, I do think that Orga. I think you're right that Orga would need to come with some kind of display stand. Speaking of Godzilla Ultima, I'm surprised nobody is talking about him or any other Singular Point character in the chat, but so far maybe that's a topic, good topic to discuss maybe. Yeah, I asked them in my interview about it. So they said, like, yeah, we're going to start with Godzilla, and if people like this one, if they want to see more and they let us know, then yeah, we'd like to do other stuff from Singular Point. I think I would really hope that they get to Salunga. Salunga would be pretty cool. Or Manda. Manda would be, you know, like an army builder. Maybe they could even do Manda as a 2-pack. Maybe that's a little bit ambitious. And then Godzilla Godzilla Aquarius would be pretty sick. Orga has the advantage of having a tail for easier balance and a first form that could come with the UFO since it would be smaller. So what they would do is release Orga first and then release an Orga 3-pack with the UFO and Millennium, just to make you double dip. I think they could develop release strategies around Orga. Maybe it would be cool if they did. Like a beam variant would be sick. Haya should make an alternate version of Scar King where he is frozen. Bro, just like go make some Jello, squish it up in your hands, and then throw it in your freezer. And that's basically like the smashed up Scar King. I'd trade the entirety of my Heisei collection just to get a Haya or Monster Arts Orga. Oh, them's fighting words. Haya feels like a godsend for someone under 18 who doesn't have an allowance. Monster Arts has never really been an option for me when I can just buy 2 figures. Dude, and like more power to you, man. Like this is a great moment for collecting Godzilla stuff. I said this in my review for the Godzilla Hokkaido 1991. Like what an amazing entry point for somebody who's just starting to collect, right? And doesn't have the money to afford something like Monster Arts, which at one point basically had a chokehold on the entire hobby. Right? Now, I know a lot of people like Monster Arts, and so I'm not trying to say that with any kind of like negative connotation, but it was like if you didn't want the Monster Arts, you were just shit out of luck. But now you have these options, and Haya's doing a lot of good stuff for great prices. So yeah, man, it's a really good time to be here. I would commit horrible war crimes to penguins for an Orga. There's a level of specificity here that just makes me uncomfortable. I'm so hyped for the Monster Arts 1975. Me too, man. That thing looks awesome. Do me a favor and buy 1 million Playmates Scarabs. You listen, we have lawyers. Fish lawyer's gonna do it. Yeah, send them. Emperor Antonio. Where is it? Emperor Antonio. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you so much for the for the super chat. Really appreciate it, dude. You're such a G, man. This guy has done so much to support me and my channel. It's crazy, dude. He's just such a nice guy. What non-Godzilla toys caught your eye at San Diego Comic-Con? Oh, okay. Well, here, let me show you. This stud right here. Okay, Ultimates Battle Beast. This guy fucking rocks. Okay, and I know that you know it rocks too, Fanboy Prime, because you were wearing them on your lanyard. This guy is so much fun. Oh, dude, look at that! Like, he's so cool. So this is the Ultimates. Well, this is the Ultimate Battle Beast. It's going to be the deluxe line from Super 7. It's got the brand new articulation scheme from their Ultimate. So he's got the double hinged elbows and knees. So yes, obviously this one caught my eye as something that was really cool. I did see the Jada Toys Invincible stuff as well. And honestly, like, the Jada stuff is really cool. I thought that the Super 7 Battle Beast was better. Personally. I don't know how well the deluxe stuff is going to go up against Jada, because the deluxe stuff has almost no accessories in the package. But I really like this Battle Beast. This Battle Beast is so cool. I love this thing. Like, rule of cool reigns supreme. Was there anything else at San Diego Comic-Con? Because, you know, obviously I'm there for very specific things. Was there any other non-Godzilla stuff? The what class was it? It's not Titan class, I don't think. Maybe it was Titan class. The Scorn, the Transformer Scorn figure. That was shown off. The prototype was shown off to scale with Grimlock and Optimus. That thing looks so cool. Scorn was my favorite Dinobot from that movie. So that one, I was like, oh my god, I need to find room for it, but I have no room. So yeah, that was the other one that I was like, holy shit, that's so cool. That's so cool. Thank you so much again, Fanboy Prime, for the super chat. That's amazing. You're awesome. I would eat a piece of chocolate cake for an Orga. Actually, that's a lie. I just want chocolate cake, and if they can make the world a better place, so be it. That's so funny. What do you say about Hiya Toys doing Godzilla 1984? 1984 is the one. It feels like Godzilla 99 or Godzilla 2000, where like nobody's gotten to it. And at some point, maybe there's going to be the floodgates. Like, Monster Arts is going to announce it, and then Hiya's going to announce it, and then Super 7's going to announce it. So it feels like that's going to be what happens. I just got the Godzilla 2004 Heat Ray and new Gotengo, and it's amazing. I hope they do the ship scene in Final Wars paired with other kaijus from Final Wars. That would be really cool. I'm glad to hear you like that release. Hopefully the quality of the Godzilla figure is better than the quality of the initial version, because I know people didn't really like the initial version. Oh, you're talking about the original Mechagodzilla 1993. Yeah, so that one, I didn't put it on my calendar. I should have put it on my calendar. But actually, let me just double check. Let me double check when I think that we'll start to see it moving. When did I get the email? That was yesterday. So that was yesterday. Then here's when I think you'll start to see it shipping from Kaukus. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. I think you will start to see it the week of September 7th, moving from Kaukus and shipping like from places in China. That's my guess. Opinion on the Monster Arts Godzilla Evolved. I was fooling around with mine and I forgot he has drop down hips for me, and there's no competition between him and the Hiya. I really like the Monster Arts Evolved. I think it's a good toy. The fact he can't look up sucks. It sucks. But the range of movement's good. Otherwise, the dorsal plates look fantastic. The teeth could use some work. The elbow spikes could use some work. But otherwise, I think he's pretty cool. I don't think of Singular Point because if I do, I cry for my future wallet. That's funny. I think the licensing with 98 has to do with his name. I think that's why Spyro Studio named it Zilla and not Godzilla. I don't think it's that. I think it's that Sony / TriStar owns a bunch of rights for distribution in the United States. I think it's more like that. Just got my Haya 2002 Godzilla. Really happy about it. The legs feel only a bit loose, but everything is perfect and well. That's awesome, dude. I hope you enjoy it. I hope they do the whole cast from Godzilla Final Wars. I would love a Rodan 2004 and Anguirus 2004. Rodan I could do without, but Anguirus could always use more rep. Would love it. Will Haya Heat Ray Evolved ship this coming week? Hopefully. I'm expecting mine around September 4th. That's when I'm expecting mine to arrive. But some folks over in China, like God's Box, etc., they'll probably be able to get a look at it sooner than I can. Godzilla Aqua Titties. Orga needs some love, totally. Kind of want to see what Haya does with Ultraman Kaiju. Don't mind getting their take on Gamora, or even if they wanted to do Gyras, if they got a license already. Yeah, it'll be cool to see what they can do. You know, I don't know if they'll be willing to send me stuff because I am not a Godzilla, or sorry, I'm not a big Ultraman fan. But like, if you're gonna send me a Kaiju toy to just get a review on a Kaiju toy, I feel like I could do that. So now that's funny. Because Cascade here is one of my chat mods. I guess they alerted him that like Rob's message is not friendly, so he stepped in to say no, allow it. That's hilarious. So now I don't think we'll see SHMA G84 anytime soon, since they're gonna be showing off G93. So my next guess would be newest Showa MG or Titano or the GMK cast. All perfectly reasonable guesses. We are lucky to have so many options to purchase. Yes. Aqua Titties for the people. One last thing, but at some point, whenever you can get around to it, that you can get in touch with Toho Kingdom, because I'm still interested in talking with them. See you later, Rick. It's good to have you in the chat. Surely Haya makes the promo vid for Godzilla Evolved. Any day now, man. Any day. Well, maybe not tonight because it's the weekend, but I think so. I would sell all my Haya figures for an SH Monster Arts Ebirah with a rock as an accessory. Brother, you're speaking my language. Somebody needs to clip this for when it happens, and everybody's needed to hold Giant Crab 95 here accountable. Let's see. I really hope that the Mothra and Suko set from Haya comes out soon. I think it will. Although we haven't seen a painted version in a while, or ever. And I can imagine those wings being really tricky to figure out. So let's see. Another amazing thing about the options we have for Godzilla figures is that all options are honestly really damn good. Somebody get this man, and or, you know, whatever gender they prefer to be called. Somebody get this individual a crown. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. This is such a winning take. This is such a winning take. You win. You win. This is the best comment that we're going to have all night. Just going to let it sit there for a little bit. All right, moving on. I'm assuming they didn't have anything prepared for Supernova at San Diego Comic-Con, so they made up for it with the Space Godzilla Funko Pop. Better than nothing. Well, like, we have -0. -0 needs to be promoted before Supernova. So I would expect that after -0 releases in international theaters, then you'll start to see the Supernova stuff really ramp up. Hey, what are your thoughts on Burning Godzilla being a New York Comic-Con exclusive? So it's interesting to see it come to New York Comic-Con, because this is the first Monster Arts to be a New York Comic-Con release. I think that there's something really tragic about a figure that was a figure being released of a character with a suit that was crowdfunded by the Japanese people, exclusively debuting in New York. I think there's something like really not right about that. I think that there's a lot of people who are upset about it being a Comic-Con exclusive, or an exclusive in general. Let's be honest. It's just an exclusive and being a little bit more limited in quantity. Honestly, I'm not surprised. I just don't think that the burning version of Godzilla 2000 or Millennium or whatever you want to call it, I don't think it has that like widespread. What might you say? Not appeal, because like obviously it's very cool. I just don't think it's something that's in the public consciousness enough to warrant a general release. That's my like honest opinion. And clearly Tamashii Nations agrees with that because they made it an exclusive. So like when I found out that it was going to be an exclusive, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then it was revealed as exclusive, and a lot of people were upset because it's not a general release. Which like, yeah, you're totally fair in being upset about it not being a general release because it makes it harder to get. But if you're upset about it not being a general release because you think there are enough people that would show up to buy it, I just disagree with that. So I hope that everybody who wants one is able to get one. I hope that Tamashii Nations is able to like satiate the demand. And if they aren't in this initial run, hopefully they'll make more. But like when I see this figure as a event exclusive, I look at it and think, yeah, that makes sense. Do you think Hiya Toys would be able to make a Godzilla 2019 2.0 with the same articulation as Evolved or their Toho line Godzillas? Yeah, so this was a really interesting topic because when I talked to them at the booth, and this was in my interview, right? Like the consensus was that they were happy with their 2019, the customers were happy with the 2019, and then I posted that video, and one of the most recurring comments was that people wanted a 2.0 of 2019 or 2021, whatever you want to say, MonsterVerse Godzilla. So that was really interesting to me, and I feel like that might have been a shock to them that so many people want a new version, especially because they're like, what, they're 10 colorways deep into this mold. So I don't know. I feel like with enough time, like they'll eventually want to revisit some of those initial versions, just because as you go and you get momentum, you'll start to recruit fans and customers who weren't there in those early days. So instead of just reissuing the old ones, like just make a brand new one. So I'm sure they will get to it eventually, but I don't think they'll get to it soon. That's what I think. Quality of the new Godzilla 2004 is way better than the OG. Nothing fell apart while I was messing around with it. That's sick, dude. I'm glad to hear that. Just covered this. I would go to the bottom of the Marianas Trench if Hiya makes a King Caesar 2004. Somebody needs to make a King Caesar 1974 first. Is Scar King shipping? So I got mine here from Hiya directly. So hopefully Cowkiss and other sellers in China will be able to start shipping it soon. What up, sir? Welcome in. Good to see you. Did you see the McDonald's? Yes. My whole feed is just people celebrating it and me lamenting that I don't get to have it. Happy we have Starship Troopers from Hiya, but after Skillet, I know the legs are going to be bad and will bend. Yeah, but it's going to have a stand this time, so hopefully that will help remediate a lot of those issues. Thoughts on the Prime 1 Ori poster statue? That thing is so sick. I cannot even come close to affording it, nor would I have anywhere to put it, but it is awesome. Thoughts on the Godzilla -0 world premiere? There's not much to say here. It's cool. It's happening in about a month. I imagine spoilers will be rampant out there afterwards, but you know, hopefully, I say like hopefully not, but God knows that this fandom, and this is not a point at anybody specifically, please don't take it that way, but I feel as though this fandom, more than any other fandom I've ever seen, takes spoilers and just runs with it. And I don't know why. I don't know why. And maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe other fandoms are just as bad, but it just feels so bad with Godzilla. Will Haya make a King Caesar figure? I don't know. I would like to think so, but I don't know. Tamashii Nations, you better hire me. I'll give you guys this stuff. That'd be cool. I really hope there is no second monster in -0. We really don't need it. Fans think we must have a versus on the sequels when we have never gotten 2 solo movies in a row. I don't care about the fight if the second monster doesn't represent anything that the humans can't do on their own. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely an uncommon take. I would be totally fine with the idea of -0 not having a second monster. I guess my primary concern would be though, like, what can you do new that doesn't feel really strongly related to -1 or feel like you're watching the same movie again? That's my only like barrier / hurdle that the movie would have to overcome. I have a lot of faith into Yamazaki. But that would be my big concern. Have you seen and or heard the end of Oak Street? If so, what are your opinions on it? Yeah, it looks cool. Like it's a J.J. Abrams dinosaur movie. I'm not really particularly interested in watching it, but I know some folks that were really excited for it because they love dinosaur movies and they're cool with it. I'm fine with Burning 2000 being exclusive. No Monster Arts con exclusives over the past years have sold out. They've all been available on BBTS or Amazon. So there you go. Let's hope that Haya catches up to also make -0 and -1 figure because that will sell out damn good as -0 is being advertised really well. Yeah, so I don't think Haya's going to be able to make -0 for a long time. -1 is interesting because initially, and I'm still inclined to think this, that the license for -1 is tied up pretty strongly between Super 7 and Tamashii Nations for highly articulated versions of -1. Doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of room for another license to be in there. That being said, we're starting to see other players enter the space. Like CCP is doing 3 -1 soft vinyl figures. They're doing Odo Island, like standard, and then pressure damaged right out the gate. There was a new -1 figure at San Diego Comic-Con. It was like Rexy Toys. Articulation Series got some coverage of it. So it seems like other people are starting to come into the space to make Godzilla -1 stuff. So maybe the license is being opened up now that -0 is here. So let's see. But -0, High is not going to be able to get to -0 for a long time. There you go. What are your thoughts on Monster Arts Godzilla 1967? Would be pretty cool. I'd like it. By the way, I did tell Brian Flynn about you messaging me about ordering 2 waves of Silver Hawks. That's so funny. I was like, did you order 2 of these? And you're like, do I seem like the kind of person who would order 2 of them? I said, yeah, a little bit. You're like, well, you would be correct. That was awesome. Will Haya Toys make King Caesar? Hopefully. I would love for Haya to make a red-eyed Kiryu. It's coming. It's coming. Red-eyed Kiryu is going to come with the Absolute Zero cannon thing. All right, folks, here you go. Here's your official confirmation. Burning Godzilla 2000 Millennium will be available beyond New York Comic Con. It's just that New York Comic Con attendees get it first. More details announced later. This isn't a Haya Toys Burning 2019 situation. I love the shade. I love the subtle jabs. Good stuff, Michael. Kind of surprised Monster Arts hasn't done a Super Gauss since they've done Iris and Mother Legion and the Gammas representing each of his appearances in the trilogy. Well, if they get to that third one, he's gonna need something to fight, isn't he? I'll have to leave soon, so sadly this 100% cancelable chat We'll be left in chaos. No one will stop the pancreas comments anymore. Well, your service was very well appreciated, Cascade. I appreciate everything that you do for this channel. No, the chaos, the anarchy. My idea is that figures from the Godzilla franchise are more niche, like Rebirth, of Mothra or some Showa Millennium villains. Usually people state that they don't do it since it's less demand. Yeah, like, that's a very reasonable assumption to have. I talked about this way back, early, maybe the first year of my channel, maybe second year, long time ago. But the thing from the company perspective that you have to think about, right, is you and I might look at a character, let's say King Caesar 1974, okay? And you and I might think, nobody's made a highly articulated King Caesar 1974. If nobody's done it, that means that people will show up for it because nobody's gotten to it, right? You'd be the first to market. You'd be the first person to do it. Everyone's going to show up and support it, okay? The companies look at this character, King Caesar 1974, and say, wow, nobody's made a highly articulated version of this character, which means we have no market data, no precedence to tell us how well it will do. So we have to rely on instinct and other types of research to sort of support our decision. So those are the two sides of the coin, right? It's a precarious balance. It's like, you'd think that because nobody's done it, people will show up for it. Companies are like, nobody's done it. How do we know people will show up for it, right? Like, why not pump out another Godzilla or a Mechagodzilla or a Ghidorah? Because people buy those characters. We know people buy those characters. So that's the balance that it's a very fine line, right? Between something selling well because nobody's done it before and something tanking because there's nothing to base that decision on. So it's hard, right? Now, if anybody's watched my San Diego Comic-Con interview with Brian Flynn, he very heavily suggested that King Caesar is coming in the Ultimates line. So that's pretty cool. And hopefully we see him sooner rather than later. I didn't realize there was a second part to this comment. But for me, if companies don't do it, target specific, well, I feel like I've just gotten to this. Taz, do we know much about how much burning will be? Did Michael's... All details will be revealed soon. Patience. Okay, there you go. I was at the Taiwan Designer Con yesterday, and I gotta say the love for Godzilla is legit. I was so happy to see the longest lines were for Godzilla Sofubi. We leave in peak times for a Godzilla fan. Hell yeah. Hard agree. Is it actually true that a sculptor from Haya made a custom Shin Godzilla head for one of your Shin Godzilla figures? So that was Robo Lizard. Robo Lizard is not a Haya sculptor. I'm not... No, that's not it. It's... I don't know where things got conflated there. The Shin head that he painted, that Shin head was sculpted by Zeto, and Zeto has sculpted for Haya Toys. Zeto sculpted their 1999 figure and their Kaiser Ghidorah figure. He also sculpted the Shin head that Robo Lizard printed and then painted to send to me. There you go. What are your thoughts on SH Monster at Singular Point Anguirus? I don't think it'll come from Monster Arts. I think it'll come from Haya first. But that would be a pretty cool version of the character to do. Yeah. Yo, Anguirus 2004 better roll into a ball so I can use it as a weapon. That would be cool. SH Monster Arts Anguirus, I'm here for it. Give it to me, Bandai. Put it right into my veins. I and many others have pointed out that the Burning Godzilla 2000's head and part of the neck is a different color from the rest of the body. Do you think it might be done in error or on purpose? Hold on. Let me go look at Ed Michaels' profile. It does look like it's a different color, doesn't it? Huh. I'm gonna guess that that's a mistake of some sort. Maybe I don't know. Maybe whoever was touching up the photos didn't do the coloring correct. But that's a good catch. Yeah, I didn't catch that. Cool. You'll learn something new every day, guys. That's the journey of life. I was surprised that Haya is doing Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm excited for the Blue Eyes White Dragon to go with my monster arts. Hoping for a future Red Eyes too, but I'm shocked that they did Jaden and not Yugi or Kaiba. Yeah, I was pretty shocked to see it too. And there were lots of comments saying like Haya is like really doubling down on trying to go for Tamashii Nation's throat with like Godzilla, Monster Hunter, and now Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. Yeah, it's funny. Like at the booth, Larry was talking to me about Yu-Gi-Oh! Like they were very excited to show it off, and he was asking me, he's like, "Do you think people will show up for it?" And I told him, like, if you can get Blue Eyes down to something affordable. The thing with Blue Eyes White Dragon is that the person who wants Blue Eyes White Dragon probably wants more than one Blue Eyes White Dragon. So, like, if you can get it down to a good price point, I think people will show up for it quite a lot. Jaden Yuki as the first human character is crazy to me, but maybe that's because like Bandai and Tamashii Nations are doing Yugi, and I think Reveltech made a Yugi as well, so there could be some stuff there. It's like, well, okay, you could do Jaden but not the other stuff. But I am glad to see GX get some rep, because GX, I feel like you got Flame Wingman in the Monster Arts line, but I don't think that character did very well, and also I don't think Flame Wingman is like among the cooler monsters from that series. So yeah, I'm interested to see where they go with it. Are you interested in other tokusatsu stuff? Only Gamera, really. Not too much of the other stuff. Yeah, I just don't have a whole lot of time to try all these other series because there's just so much to catch up on. Sometimes I prefer ignorance. That talk that you said about no one knowing how good a King Caesar figure would sell out is very similar to how you had that talk about people wanting highest Showa figures but not knowing how it goes. Yeah, right. Like that's the same. It's the same thing. Like Haya is a company that needs to sell a lot of volume, and that's why they're picking characters they think they can sell a lot of volume about, or sell a lot of volume of. So when it's like, could Haya do Titanosaurus? Yeah, they could probably do Haya Titanosaurus, but they might not be able to sell enough to get to, where they need the price point to be. But let's hope that changes. I never look at the Caucus website for new solicitation. I just check your channel. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Like I said, I'm trying my best here. Waiting for high res picks. Okay, good point. SH better start making Ebira and Ganymedes. I need my people. I think you'll get them in Reaction Blind Box within the next few years, man. I think it'll happen. Whenever I'm at Comic-Con, I think toy companies don't know what to think of me because I may get too excited. I was thinking about this earlier today. Like, I get a good size handful of people who like genuinely think that Super 7 pays me to talk positively about them. These people, I don't think any of these people realize that like I started my channel to cover Super 7 Godzilla stuff. I started this channel because I was really into it and it was impossible to find information, and I wanted this channel to be the one place where you could find everything related to Super 7's Godzilla stuff, because I fucking love the Super 7 Godzilla stuff, and it's so much fun to me, and I get really pumped up about it. And you get these people who think that, who genuinely seem to think that Super 7 pays me to be this excited and to promote this stuff. And as like annoying as that can be, I think there's something endearing about the idea that my enthusiasm for Super 7's Godzilla stuff to other people appears as an enthusiasm that could only be bought. Like there's something really funny about that. But no, it's genuine. I love Super 7 stuff. Every time I make a Haya video and I get subscribers, I get scared because I know the Haya customer probably doesn't like Super 7 stuff. And they're just going to leave a comment about Super 7 being overpriced or not accurate or whatever. all of that is to say, yeah, when you're at San Diego Comic-Con, like, this stuff is really cool, and you see a lot of excited people. And this stuff does excite me most of the time. Yeah. I don't know. There's sometimes it's fatiguing. It's fatiguing that, like, it feels like pessimism is the norm. And that if you try to break out of that, it's like, oh, well, you're just a shill or whatever. It's like, nah, dude, like, this stuff is so cool. It's so much fun. And just because, like, there's this vocal minority that complains or doesn't like this stuff or whatever, and they're well within their right to not like it, but then to go around and say that stuff, like, people like you and I really liking this stuff and thinking that this is really fucking cool, that, like, we just don't have our heads screwed on properly. It's annoying. It's annoying. But again, the idea that I have an enthusiasm for Super 7 that could only be bought is pretty funny. Free Nerd Gigante from his prison, Haya. Listen, he's in prison. He's in jail. He's in articulation jail. Okay, once they can crack the articulation, they will release him. Monster Arts should start making more Showa era figures. They would be safe from Haya. Yeah, they would be safe because Haya is not touching Showa. Is Monster Arts going to do another Godzilla Evolved? Do you want them to do another Godzilla Evolved? What do you want it to look like? Is there anything that you missed out to explain on the video that Haya Toys was looking into the comments about? Hold on, I need to reread this. Is there anything that you missed out to explain on the video that Haya Toys was looking into the comments about? I don't think so. I think I got everything. I think I got everything that was approved for me to share in the interview. If Haya can make affordable Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon or even any of the Egyptian gods, that would be sick. Dude, they need to do Exodia. I know Rob would go nuts if they made Exodia. Egyptian gods, yeah, that's a no-brainer. The three monsters that I would be so happy to see them do, and I don't think they're going to do them, and I think they would be right to not do them, are the Sacred Beasts from GX. I love the Sacred Beast cards, man. Those designs are so cool to me. I don't think that they're going to make them. I wouldn't blame them for not making them, but if they did, that would be dope. Do you think Haya Toys is causing any effect on SH Monster Arts? Obviously, is there more here? Oh my god, I hate typing on a tablet. Tamashi's main market is Japan, and that's outside of Haya, but you gotta wonder how relevant the international market is to Monster Arts, and Haya's market is growing by the day. This is a great question. So, I did a video earlier this year. I think it was earlier this year, or maybe it was my video last year. I like once a year I like to do my big Haya and Monster Arts video. And last year it was about how I think that Haya is encouraging Monster Arts to change, but not in a way that anybody expected. I think most people were like, oh, Monster Arts is going to have to bring down price points. And I don't think that that's what they're doing at all. I think what they're doing is really pushing the envelope on their offerings, you know, implementing new articulation schemes. And like when you get Megaguirus is going to be the definitive version with the evolution, the Mega Nulon and the Mega Nula. They're going to make Kaiser Ghidorah, and Kaiser Ghidorah is going to be like all out. I'm sure there's other stuff coming down the pipe that it's like, no, this is going to be the definitive version of that character. I feel like that is what Haya is doing to Tamashii Nations. I think it's pushing Tamashii Nations not to. I think there's a better way to phrase this. I don't think that Haya's presence is pushing Tamashii Nations to try and beat Haya at the game that Haya is playing. I think it is going to push Monster Arts to do even more of what they are doing. if that makes sense. Like they're just pushing Monster Arts to form an even bigger identity, whether that's character choice, whether that's loadouts, all that kind of stuff. That's what I think. That's what I think the influence looks like. Haya should make Exquisite Basic Plus Mechagodzilla 2021. They should make a normal Mechagodzilla 2021 first. That would be cool. Do you collect any Marvel? I swear I remember seeing the Genocide BAF in one of your thumbnails before. Yes, I did have. That was, oh gosh, that was my Rule of Cool video, I think. Yeah, when I was doing, it was this guy. It's funny that I had the Nemesis BAF, but this guy, the Figure Obscura Ganesh. Yeah, this guy's dope. Yes, no, I collect Marvel piecemeal. Like, I'll probably get an Avengers Doomsday Doctor Doom figure. But again, it's just, I'm always running out of space. I hope Haya does something with Baby Godzilla, Little Godzilla, Godzilla Jr., make them into an evolution set. You know, Kyle who used to formerly, like he used to work at Super 7, he said that this is what he always wanted to do in Ultimates. He wanted to do an Ultimates, like a single release, a single box that had these 3 characters. Obviously, that's not going to happen under his direction anytime soon, but it's a neat idea. I bet Haya's waiting for Monster Arts to tackle more on the Showa monsters to see how they'll do. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that Haya's paying attention to what Super 7's doing in Ultimates with Showa now, because they need as much market data as they can get. I want a Monster Arts Giant Condor. Yes. When did Haya say they were supposed to release Mecha Ghidorah? The latest like ETA was at the start of this year. They said Q3 of this year, and Q3 ends at the end of next month, end of September. I don't think that they're going to ship it by then. We saw the gray prototype at San Diego Comic-Con, and if you don't see a colored prototype, then I should rephrase this. If you see a gray prototype instead of a colored prototype, that would suggest to me that it's not anywhere near final production. So I think it's going to ship Q4. I think it's going to ship Q4. I honestly think everyone, including me, mostly rely on you for Haya plus Super 7 news, since you're the most reliable YouTuber and media to know about when things come out, and you're also cute. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm just trying to do my best. I'm trying to put together the thing that is most enticing about this hobby for me at this point is the fact that information and these companies really do seem to be like a black box. Like every once in a while they do something and you're not sure why they're doing it or where they thought this was the right play, or sometimes you see something you're like, yeah, that makes sense, but like we don't. It just feels like a black box, right? And like, at least in Canada, like engineers, they teach you, there are whole courses on black boxes. There are whole courses on trying to figure out what's going inside the black box. And so it tickles a part of my brain to be like, oh, like they did this, or I think that we're going in this direction. So it's so much fun to try and do that. But then to provide information when I can, like, you know, the interviews with Brian Flynn or you know, getting to talk to Haya at San Diego Comic-Con. Like, I care a lot about this stuff. I know people really just they just want to basically know, like, oh, is this guy worth the $55 or whatever, or is it better than the Monster Arts? Like the vast majority of people only care about that, right? But for me, it's like there's so much else going on that I'm fascinated about, and I'm just so fortunate that other people show up and show up along for the ride. So I'm yeah, grateful for it. Your Super 7 love is infectious. It's shown me the way. I'm happy to share it away with you, Rob. You got to put up the shield. How do you think I've made it for 15 years? Dude, like every once in a while, I send Michael a message and I'm like, dude, I don't know how the fuck you do this. I don't know how the fuck you do this. Like being 100% honest with you guys. Whenever I post a Super 7 video now, like I don't even read the comments, because that's how much it used to be that I made Super 7, like I started with Super 7 content, and the people that followed Super 7, they found me, and you know, they were there, they're like, oh, like this is cool, like whatever. But again, it's like every time I make a Haya video or a Monster Arts video, my viewer base gets bigger, and it means I attract a lot of people who don't like Super 7 stuff, which is fine. Again, they're within the right to do it. But it's just like there's this small minority of that audience that just sandbags and just brings down the mood on my Super 7 content so hard. I remember it wasn't this last interview with Brian, it was the interview before. And I post, because now like I post shorts about my Brian interviews before I post the full thing. And I posted a short with Brian, and we were talking, I forget even what we were talking about. It was like the pink Hedera that Rob brought up from the TV show. And I got a comment from somebody saying like, platforming this company is crazy and makes your reviews of Haya toys look suspect. Something like that. I was like, dude, platforming a company is the phrase you use, and we're just talking about toys. It's just two grown-ass men talking about toys, and you're like, you're platforming this company. Like, shut up. Shut up. Ugh. All of that is to say that Michael is a sage. I don't know how the fuck he does it. Every year, I will almost always have a Super 7 figure hanging from my lanyard. I spend a lot on their site. Also, that membership has more than paid for itself. I got a second Meltdown Goji for retail. That's insane. Oh, dude. But yes, you are a big Super 7 guy, and I really appreciate you using my affiliate link so much. Oh man. Do you think Monster Arts will make Titanosaurus? I hope so. That would be cool. Yes, it was the one about Ganesh, which is just so funny that Ganesh was the focus of a video where the thumb title featured a Marvel character called Genocide. What rules of collecting do you try to follow? Or do you follow a more loose philosophy where you pick and choose more than staying in a strict boundary? Yeah, pick and choose, 100%. I don't have the room, nor do I have the money to keep up with everything. Here's some advice that my father very heavily like pushed onto me. I try to follow it. Sometimes I don't follow it as much as I should. But basically here it is. And I think that this will help people with way more than just collecting. Okay. When you see something that you like, okay, you take a hard look at that price tag, and you have to ask yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself. Do you like this thing for the price, or do you love this thing for the price? If you only like it for the price, you should probably not buy it. You will save so much more money. You will sort out your priorities if you just start abandoning the things that you do, like, oh, like that's kind of cool. Like, yeah, I'll spend $50 on that thing, from the, oh my god, that thing is so cool, and I feel like I would really regret it if I didn't pick it up at this price tag. That is a really good philosophy to follow in life, not just collecting. Especially with the fact that like everything's just getting so expensive out there, man. Everything's getting so expensive. So yeah, like, and that goes to the point, like Haya Toys coming in with the affordable releases as they are, like that's going to help so many people out. And I got to give them a lot of credit for that. Agreed on the Haya Monster Arts thing. Monster Arts' Monsterverse line has been so disappointing. My Scar King is such a bitch to deal with because his hands cannot stay on at all. So I hope they do better. Yeah, it's well said. Do you have anything on a possibility of 1984 from Haya? I don't have anything on 1984 from anybody at this point. Yeah. I'd like to say how much I appreciate the community you've built. You take into account every angle about a topic instead of just taking a me approach to the world. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, with like a lot of the stuff is very complicated. And so I'm happy to try and break things down when I can. While you were at San Diego Comic-Con, did you ask Haya on why the prototype for 1995 changed? I didn't ask them. They just told me. Or maybe I did ask them. I think I did ask them, actually. I was like, is that a new prototype for Burning Godzilla? And they said, yes, we adjusted it to address customer feedback or fan feedback, what they saw on social media. Yeah, that's why they changed it. Kind of hoping the Godzilla Evil 1 gives Monster Arts the possibility of tackling G-Erosion Digimon from the Godzilla collab. Would you like to see Metal Greymon or Machine Draymon Type 3? Man, I really liked Digimon when I was very young. That would be a pretty cool license for Monster Arts to get into. There's a lot of design there. And as always, it's a question of just, is there enough gas in the tank? Let's hope so. I'm sorry the comments on the Super 7 vids are getting too much to you. You're my favorite creator in the space, and it always makes my day whenever you see it. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, my interviews with Brian, from a views perspective, you know, I could get a lot more views doing a lot less work than interviewing Brian. But like, he's a cool guy, dude. He clearly loves this IP and this property, and he's just trying to do the best that he can. And so I do those interviews because I just want to talk to Brian on camera, and I'm always glad if other people come along for the ride. Honestly, because you and the other guys, I have a better understanding and respect for each company to give more people options for Godzilla. I wish others would listen instead of just insulting companies. Yeah, man. So this is not to say that like companies are exempt from criticism. Okay, I'm not saying that. I've never said that. There are people that would accuse me and my friends of saying that, and that's not what we do. So perhaps those folks should just listen to what we actually say instead of just making up caricatures of us that to blatantly, you know, shit on Twitter and whatever. But it's like, companies clearly do things for reasons. They clearly do things for reasons, and toy companies, like any company, are trying to get your money. Like, that's just the fact of the matter. No companies are your friends. They're all trying to get your money, and they're all doing something for a reason. At the same time, they know that they need to do something that attracts you. They need to offer you something that you're actually interested in buying. And so if you see a company making something and you're just like, God, who is this for? And then they keep doing it. Okay, you're not the prime customer. You're not the target audience. It's fine. It's okay, dude. Like, Toho Ultimates from Super 7 is about to enter Wave 8. Wave 8. Like, there are some people out there that literally just, they will not even entertain the idea of purchasing a Toho Ultimate, and that's fine. But they cannot fathom that other people are interested in this stuff. Yeah, dude. Like, anyway, companies they're not exempt from criticism. Like, you should expect to hold them to high standards. But at the same time, sometimes it's not just greed. There's always going to be an aspect of like, yeah, they want you to buy something so that they can make some money. But it's like, sometimes they're doing it because they think that they can make money offering a service that people want, whether that's reissuing a figure, whether that's, you know, doing a redeco that they think people are going to be interested in. So there's always more to it. There's always more to it. But if at the end of the day, if you don't care about any of that, you only care about the product that's in front of you and whether you like it or not, that's fine too. It's fine. Like, it's your right, man. It's your money. People work very hard for their money. And if you think something is not up to snuff, okay, don't buy it then. Save your dough for the next one. That's what I think. Sorry if I asked about Shin. Someone posted a believable picture on Haya Toys Reddit page about Shin Godzilla. I actually have that open right now. You can't see it, but I have it open right here, and it does seem like this picture did fool people. So I'm sorry. Hoping we get 1955 in the Monster Arts line since he has a horrifyingly cool design. I agree. I day one pre-order for Godzilla 1955. I love chocolate cake for the price. That's hilarious. Do you see us getting more Evangelion X Monster Arts collabs? It depends on how well this one is going to do. If this one sells like gangbusters, Yeah, people they'll do another one. No question. Why does Haya always jump between two eras? Why can't they stick to only Heisei or Millennium line first? That's my other gripe with them. Haya is trying to. So my understanding and my impression of Haya's approach to the first couple years of the Toho line is that they really want to hit the ground running with releases that they think the most number of people will want to buy. So, like the first releases were Heisei, yeah, that makes sense. And then it was 2001, and then it was 2000, and then now we're getting into Final Wars. I think they're trying to just really quickly establish themselves as a major Godzilla action figure company. So I think that's why you're seeing them jump between Heisei and Millennium, and now they're, I guess, I think Singular Point technically falls into Reiwa, maybe, but I think that's why you're seeing that rather than seeing them start to fill out some of these gaps. I think it's they really wanted to make a very strong first impression with customers, and I think now you'll start to see them start to fill in those gaps a little bit more. Question, but could you do a cool pose for us on camera of your Haya Scar King for the new viewers watching? So, like, you want me to hold them up doing something interesting? Well, I'd like to save that for my reel. But here, I'll show you something that I really like about this figure. This is not giving away too much, I guess. So Scar King has like true butterfly joints, meaning you can actually get him like his right hand to touch his left shoulder and vice versa. Like, these butterfly joints are fantastic. These are the joints I wish that their Kong 2024 had and Kong 2.0 had, but they're actually here on Scar King and they are fantastic. So there's your your live stream Easter egg thing, I guess. What advice would you give to people who are trying to work as a figure sculptor for companies like Super 7, Monster Arts, or Haya? So this is a good question. Have a really good public portfolio of your work that you can continuously contribute to, whether that's a website. I mean, Instagram is probably the easy one these days. And just practice. Hone your craft, get better, keep doing it. And then besides that, like, just have a clean online presence. Like, don't badmouth other works publicly and like in a public forum, right? Like, if you're in a group chat with your buddies, like, it's one thing, but if you're on Twitter, like, just shitting on other products, I think that's a horrible way to go about it. Just because it adds like a level of stress to these companies that they just don't need. So those are the best things that I can suggest. Has Haya told you anything new on Evolve 2.0? No. What's a complaint that you see where people don't have any nuance? For example, complaining about Monster Arts using concept designs in order to match the film's release. That's the biggest one for me. Oh. The biggest one for me is when somebody says that like a given figure, it could be a Super 7, it could be a Monster Arts, it could be a Haya, honestly. Like, let's say like Haya Kiryu. Somebody will look at a toy and they'll be like, this should be $30. Drives me crazy. I got a comment when I posted my Super Mechagodzilla video from somebody saying, because I was like, oh, this thing is only $80. I thought it was going to be $100. And the guy was basically complaining. He was saying, why are you saying only $80? This is like $5 worth of plastic made for pennies in China. Like, what is wrong with you people? You keep buying this, and that's why the prices stay high. I said this in my most recent video with Donnie Winter. If you haven't seen it, you should go to Donnie's channel and watch it. But he asked me, like, what's my biggest hot take? What is my biggest hot take? That was his question. And I said that experience consuming product does not necessarily translate to experience in distributing or manufacturing product. All of us here are big kaiju collector people, right? Kaiju collectors, okay? That doesn't mean that we should be able to look at a toy in a vacuum and decide what its price should be. Okay? So, for example, here are two different Hedorah figures. Now, some of you are immediately going to know which ones, like, which companies made these things. But in a vacuum, there's no reason that you should be able to tell me how much these things cost. Right? Not knowing the company or how many were made or, you know, like geographic availability. There's no fuck, I put them in the wrong spots. You can buy as many Godzilla figures as you want. That doesn't mean that you're going to be able to tell me how much a figure should be. Now, within a line, you might be able to look at something, again, like Haya Kiryu, where he's $100 and think that seems really inconsistent with the rest of the line. That would be a completely fair comment to make. But I was seeing people say, like, this thing should only be $60. How do you know? You don't even have the thing, right? So that's the big one for me. That's the big one for me. Are you hyped? Are you super hyped for the damn remastered? Absolutely. Who up kaijuing they Canucks right now? Welcome in, dude. That reel you made where what was it? It was like watching a review for a figure you just pre-ordered or something like that. It opens up and you're like, oh, I've been waiting for this shit. And the guy like just turns around and hucks the thing at the wall. That was so funny. I love that video so much. Like, class act, man. I loved it so much. With the release of Scar King, I wonder if Tiamat's release date. No, it's not moved forward. It's not going to be. You're not going to see Tiamat till, like, at the earliest, like, very, very, very end of December. But even then, I really don't think that. Like, the one at San Diego was held together by Putty. I'd like to see a Haya 2.0 of Godzilla. Yeah, this seems to be the consensus. I now have my Haya 2002 on my computer desk as I work on new cosplay projects. Can't wait to see how extensive they'll get with the Tokyo SOS design adjustments. Yeah, dude. So you like your 2002? You like fiddling with it on your desk? It's a great toy, man. It's a great toy. What are you excited for? What are you excited? I am excited for that. That is correct. I think it's wild that in the US you can get SH Monster, it's -0 for $106 shipped, and still get comments like, this should be $60. That's what I'm saying. That guy saying $5 in China is wild. He didn't even account for sculpt work, engineering, manufacturing. There are many things that man did not account for. And dude, I wish him well, but I don't think he knows what company he's in here on this channel. Like, that is just clearly a very bad take. What are you excited for? Yes, I saw this one. A lot of the toy companies talk to one another and are friends. The ones that talk trash really limit their access and opportunities. They will visit each other's booths and praise each other's work. Yes. the pinned video, well, not the pinned video, but like the featured video on my YouTube channel is my very first chat with Kyle Wadiga. And he was mentioning that at the time when NECA Toys did their Turtle Van and Super 7 did their Turtle Van basically at the same time, like effectively, there were so many comments. It was like, oh, like, you know, Super 7's winning the Turtle Van war. And Kyle was basically just like, I don't think there's a war, dude. Like, we like the guys over at NECA. Like, we're friends. We text each other. We buy each other stuff all the time. Like, we're not at war here. We all just want to make cool toys. Since Kiryu are available for pre-order, I don't think you'll be ready. I don't think you'll be ready when Haya makes Heat Ray versions of those when they put up their price point. I don't know. You're right. You're right. I don't know. I don't know. It'll break my brain. $2. I'd like to clarify. I don't care about SH Monsters using concept designs. I understand production timelines for films and toys. I actually prefer the design of the Monster Art Ghidorah 2019 to the film. Yeah, dude. Like, you're good. You're good. We'll just say there. You're good. No worries. I say, and when I say that, I mean I don't think you'll be ready for how expensive it is, because I know for sure they'll somehow push it near the same price as Biollante, maybe. I hope not. I hope not. I hate when people hate on stuff they won't even buy. That's the truest comment I've seen in my life. Like, when it does seem like there's a cohort of people out there who have absolutely no interest in a line. And I don't know about most of you folks. I assume if you're here, you're not one of these people. Because, like, if there are stuff out there that you just don't like or you're not interested in, you just don't comment on it. Right? Have any of you guys seen the Ricky Gervais skit about guitar lessons in the town square? And he said that, like, a lot of the complaining you see on social media is the equivalent of, like, at the grocery store, you see a flyer for guitar lessons and you call the number just to tell them that you don't want the guitar lesson. It feels like that. It really feels like that. Like, just move along, dude. If Haya is your bread and butter, if Monster Arts is your bread and butter, just go enjoy that stuff. It's cool, man. It's cool, man. If you're not even going to buy the stuff, if you're not even the person that would buy the stuff, it's like... Now, if you're the person who's like, I would buy it if they adjusted these things, that's different. But there's, like, the people who are happy with their alternatives that just need to, like, I don't know, you know. Billy Beige, welcome in, man. It's good to see you, dude. I hope you're good. Derpy Christ 965. He's a big hater. That's right. That's right. He DM'd me recently to tell me I'm not even gonna, like, make a joke here. Derpy Christ actually messaged me during Comic-Con with some very nice words of encouragement that I was very appreciative of. So he's not a big hater. Ololan Pop, was it not you that made this real? I thought it was you. Been away. Did you mention bean soup theory? No, we haven't talked about bean soup theory, actually. This idea that, like, somebody posts a recipe for bean soup and other people are like, well, what if I don't like beans? It's like, okay, then go do a different recipe. Like, we don't have to modify this one to accommodate you. This one is for the people that like bean soup. That's it. You ever tried getting a custom figure of your OC kaiju? No, never tried it. Not particularly interested in it. To be honest, I'll probably... I might change my logo at some point, if I'm being dead ass. With Monster Arts announcing Heat Ray 2000, when do you think Haya will announce theirs? I don't know if they'll announce theirs. I actually don't know. I don't know if they'll do it. I'd like to hope that they do it, but I do not know. Always curious, but were you ever interested in trying gameplay streams in one of your stream videos one of these days if you're into playing video games, if you have free time to do so? I don't have the attention span, like, just straight up. Like, I'd rather just try to focus on stream and on the folks that are here and spending time and asking questions and thinking about the questions rather than trying to tend to like Dead by Daylight and you know, trying to not get camped and tunneled, and then trying to also have a conversation with the folks that are taking time to be here. So I thought about it, but I think it's not the right play. Do you think certain characters are more expensive, not to produce, but to license? Could Kiryu's price be higher because his license is more expensive than others? It is always possible that certain character, because Toho does license each of their characters individually, technically, it's always possible. So, like, you know, people have joked about the Kiryu tax. Kiryu is always going to be expensive. So it's possible, but it's like that black box of this hobby. We'll never know. I'm gonna say no, because like the Super 7 Kiryu is the same price as the rest of the line. So I don't know. Do we know when Super 7 Shin is shipping? I saw that in-hand picture on Instagram and didn't look like it was at a con. Yeah, so that photo. What I'll say about that photo is the articulation does seem accurate to the final release. Although there's something about the lighting or the paint or the editing of that photo that just makes it look brown. So I don't think that was a production sample. It could have been a near final sample. Anyway, to answer your question, that wave was estimated to ship in November. I do think it will ship in October. Yeah. Like, we had a production sample at San Diego Comic-Con along with Odo Goji, which was initially supposed to be due in January. I think it'll ship in 2026 instead. So I do think it'll be shipping soon. Yeah. I haven't seen Godzilla 2002 or their Kiryu, but I think that they'll all be shipping together. Unironically, I prefer Monster Arts Shimo over Haya. That's cool, man. I think there are definitely things to like about the Monster Arts one over the Haya. It's just hard to argue with the prices. That's my biggest issue. I've been collecting both Haya and Monster Arts these days, running out of room and space. Same, man. Same. Totally. I am buried under 3D printing projects, but I have a stack of Haya figures to look at lovingly. One day they'll be open. Dude, I feel that. There are some things I have here. They're not Haya or Monster Arts, but there are some things I have here that I still haven't taken out of the box because it's just, I'm just so spent at the end of the day. Like, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the channel, but like, I work my full-time job 35 hours a week. I work part-time teaching 15 hours a week. And then I have my wife and daughter to tend to, and then I try to find time to do YouTube. So like, I am just so swamped. There are some days I don't even enter my collector room, or some weeks I should say, I don't even enter my collector room for 2 or 3 days at a time, just because I'm running so ragged on everything else. Running ragged makes it sound like it's all bad stuff or that it's too much. I'd like to iterate. I love everything that I'm up to, whether it's my jobs or my family. It just means I have very little time for anything else. I fancy myself Haya toys on any given day, but I also don't judge people that buy into Monster Arts. We all got our licks on different plates. This is great. I love it. I want to frame it. Do you think that Blockies will ever get to soliciting their Godzilla 2000? They will definitely get to soliciting it, like 100%. It's just a question of when, and what line they're going to do that in. I do hope in the near future that Haya does an upgrade kit for MonsterVerse Godzilla, because I really despise those neck barbells. I think they'll get to it at some point. If you change the avatar, will you keep the purple color? That's how I reckon. Oh, you know the purple's staying. Yeah. You know the purple's staying. We got to see Rage Canuck fighting Rotund Bird in Silksong. Oh my god. That's so funny. I remember Rob and I messaging each other about these goddamn birds in Silksong. They're the most annoying things. Did you ask NECA about more DBD figures? I'd love Oni and a few survivors. No, I didn't. I really thought about it, and then there was never like a convenient time for me to go and ask them. I doubt they're gonna get to survivors, but I would like to think that they've got a couple of killers in the pipeline. Streaming games is odd. Someone always jumps in and wants to sell me views, followers, and a new banner, but that's my only viewer. Yeah, that's all these people trying to scam you. That was my experience. I actually, before I started on YouTube, I tried streaming on Twitch, and that was my experience too. It was like every 10 minutes or so, somebody would come in and they'd be like, "Oh, hey, this is pretty cool. By the way, do you have an artist? Are you looking to pay some money?" No. At the end of the day, it's all about whoever makes a blue Ebira. Godsy Burst is going to do it, I'm sure. I may change my mind on the Super 7 Shin now after seeing the tail articulation. Would love a highest Shin Godzilla with that same level of articulation. Yeah, that would be cool. But for now, I think you're stuck between Monster Arts, Super 7, and the 3-0 whenever they solicit that one. Stop this. Stop this. What are you doing? What are you doing? Do you think that Hiya Toys will be close to making articulation, production, sculpting to Mechagodzilla 2021? If you have any other thoughts about MG 2021, it would be good to listen to. Okay, hold on. So what I will say about Mechagodzilla 2021 from Hiya Toys is, at this, like, if you're watching this, you've probably watched my interview with Hiya, and they talked about how Mechagodzilla 2021 is difficult to do. So this is my opinion. I think that there is a very significant chance that Hiya does not make an Exquisite Basic Plus Mechagodzilla. I think it is actually more likely at this point that they will make a stylist Mechagodzilla 21, which will be a statue. And maybe they'll do something like Stylist Plus, where they put lights in it, but it's still just a statue. And I think that they'll call it a day. That this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. But if I were a betting man, that's what I would hedge my bet on, is that they're not going to make Exquisite Basic Plus, they're going to make Stylist. I saw on Hiya's website that the Burning Godzilla battle version... Yeah, I thought I saw somebody mentioning that, actually. I'm going to look this up right now. It looked like that Hiya brought back the Burning Godzilla battle version. It says it's in stock on their website. So... yeah, maybe you can buy it. When will my father come back? I don't know. It's a good question. Hello, Doug. I want someone to make Martian fighting machine figures, War of the Worlds. Oh, that'd be cool. Will Hiya Toys make Titanus Doug? I actually think they will get to Doug. I forgot about Doug, to be honest. When do you think Hiya Basic Plus will start shipping? If I were to make a guess, it'll be toward the end of Q4. Like November. As you see my messages in Discord, you know I'm not too big on Hiya, but I'm not opposed to buying some. I saw Hiya 2000 at con recently. I was going to pick it up until I saw it's a $120 price tag. Yeah, get out of here with that. No, get it for MSRP. Taddeo, what are you doing to me? Tadeo. Don't do this. I don't plan on another Monster Arts Shin, so my best bet is maybe getting the Super 7 one while I still wait for Hiya Shin. It's not the worst course of action. The Super 7 one's half the price of Monster Arts, so might be a good way to do it. Let's go. EO, he's purple. I really hope that the Monster Arts Burning Godzilla 2000 comes with a beam accessory. Nah, that would be cool. I actually don't know if it will. Do you know when Evo Goji will appear in China, considering it's supposed to be shipping? I think you'll start to see photos come out within the next week. Yeah. If I was tackling different sculpts like that one Monster Hunter sculpt, who's to say they won't get to 2021 Mechagodzilla? Again, this is just my thought. Based on just conversations. Will we see Exquisite Basic Plus for Toho figures? I actually don't know. That'd be cool. Something I always wondered, do you know what companies like Tamashii Nations or Haya or Super 7 do with their prototypes after the figures release? I know it's Super 7 that Brian Flynn takes most of them home. Other companies, I have no idea. I imagine a lot of them get completely and utterly destroyed, but Brian brings them home. I need neon disco psychedelic Ebira. Tamashii Nations destroys their prototypes. Yeah, see, there you go. I'd love to see Monster Arts attempt at Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus or any Jurassic Park dinosaurs. Yeah, that'd be cool, but Mattel's got it locked down tight. Mattel's got that license locked down real hard. And Mattel is they are a force to be reckoned with. Haya Toys Giant Condor when never soon enough. Folks, that's gonna be it from me. Thank you all so much for coming by the stream. Good to see you all. We've been going 2.5 hours. Hopefully we'll be able to do this again sometime soon. I know it was a big long time since the last one. I'd like to tighten that up a little bit. So thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys again soon.